All right, welcome again to yet another brand new trading week. Well, as you obviously know, we are expecting, sorry, we are experiencing one of the most difficult markets, a very low volume market. Um, it is really not suitable for price action traders. For me, I have not been taking trades so far because the market condition has been really terrible. Okay, and I guess all of this is because of the Brexit news announcement that has been scheduled for December. Well, let's just keep following the market until that fundamental, all important fundamental event is out of the way. All right, before we dig into the charts, let's just quickly look into the Forex Factory economical calendar to see those high impact news announcements that are scheduled to happen for this upcoming trading week. In fact, since the Brexit news announcement was shifted, even the news announcement in the economical calendar tends to be more of a species and not very serious high impact news announcement. Even the serious ones do not really impact the charts as they usually do. At any rate, these are the news announcement that we are expecting for this trading week. You want to give maximum attention to the FOMC meeting minute. All right, this one here that usually cause volatility. Um, what else again? I think just keep an eye on all of the news announcements. I don't really think we are going to have much of impact with them, but at any rate, keep them close up to you. All right, let's now move into the charts and see what we have. I'm just going to discuss a few pairs, beginning with the euro against the American dollar. We have analyzed this before, and we talked about this pattern being the most likely price pattern that we will be seeing for now. Remember that the leaning trend line right here, okay, has given way. If you remember that that leaning trend line has given way. That was the breakout. This tends to be some pullbacks. Price might be pushing to the upside, so be careful how you hit on your sell button in the euro against the American dollar. Let me just zoom in this chart. All right, hi there. That's the leaning line I was talking about. That's the focal point. Retest, another retest here. Okay, so it got broken right here, right there. Whatever we are seeing here might be some form of pullback, and you can see here that that was the breakout point. Okay, that was the breakout point. Sorry, my line seems to be wobbly. That was the breakout point. Usually price tends to make a pullback to the breakout point before pushing to the upside, or to retest the broken trend line, which was once acting as resistance, and it may now act as support. So either of those two levels before you can see a reaction. And for now, we are already seeing the reaction around the breakout point. Okay, that's it. You can see that candle, that is a hammer formation. You need to be extremely careful hitting on your sell button. Though this tends to look really bleak with that sideways price behavior, you can see the this bottom here are all resistance. Okay, resistance. Let's look into the shorter time frame. Hopefully you will get a clearer picture, but for now, just get the message that price is trading around possible support area, and the overall pattern is likely going to be an expanding triangle in the weekly time frame. Okay, that's zigzag formation, so be careful. Now looking into the daily time frame, this was that level I was talking about. Price, that pin bar closed just below the previous level, just below a previous level of support, which may now act as resistance. So as it is, you have the idea that price is trading around a weekly level of support. Okay, right now it is also trading around a daily level of resistance. So this is not really a very safe place to look for trading opportunities. At best, you want price to break above. Okay, from there on, you want to begin to look for your buy entries to the next level of resistance there. You want price to actually kick below that area. before you want to be searching for your short opportunity. So it's quite a very tricky area right now, so just keep watching. For me, no trade at this time. All right, the American dollar against the Japanese yen, we had analyzed this pair where we talked about that point of confluence at that zone right here. But price is still hesitating a lot around this area. The hesitation is just too much. If you dig into the daily time frame, you will see that we are getting a bounce of that rising trend line. Okay, that rising trend line. For me, I am even seeing this. I am just thinking aloud that maybe seeing some form of not going to give some importance to that bounce, maybe seeing some form of an expanding triangle. Okay, maybe something like that. You have support there, support, resistance, 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 maybe a fall back down somewhere in there, another push to the upside. Or we may also be seeing maybe a channel. Okay, anything is possible in this type of market. Sideways price action. So maybe another channel. Okay, come back down, swing up and down. And so ultimately you need to know that this is a congestion. It is a sideways price behavior either for this channel or this expanding triangle, and at best you want to be careful going long. Price is likely going to come down. Okay, that's it. What else? Let's look into the shorter time frames. Nothing really, just going to keep this trend line. All right, this is also resistance here, resistance in the 4 hours time frame. All right, let's move on. The next one is the American dollar against the Swiss franc. For the past several weeks, we actually talked about price being in congestion. Remember when I told you that the next candle is likely going to be pushed to the downside. You can see that. So heavy sideways behavior. Let's look into the shorter time frame. The daily time frame. In the daily time frame, I have actually anticipated this, that maybe having that sideways price behavior, resistance there, resistance, support, support. So another push, this could be support. If you're holding trades around that area, I think it may be best to just close out the trades. Okay, because this congestion is just still there, even though we are trading to see price go down heavily within the weekly time frame, where we have that pattern, this expanding triangle, where the optimal direction remains to the downside. Okay, if you have the nerves, hold the trade. Price is optimally going to push to the next level of support. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the last pair, the American dollar against the Canadian dollar. It's the same pair we talked about, that it is a channel in the weekly time frame. We expect price to come down, but lots of hesitation. Last week candle is a doji right here, a sign of rejection. In the daily time frame, it's actually nothing clear here, still some hesitation. The direction still remains to the downside, nothing has changed. In the 4 hours time frame, let's see what's going on. We had a trend line. All right, that trend line, that's the focal point here. Second bounce, it got mutilated right there. Okay, but this is what I am now seeing, since my most preferable direction is to the downside. I'm just going to mark this key level. It's a key area that is holding price as support. You can see that area right here. Okay, it has been holding price as support. So what I want to see is a favorable breakout, pullback to retest that zone. From there on is where I want to be looking for my short entries for price to move to the downside. You can actually see that build up right here, that hesitation. So all you want to see is for price to give us that favorable breakout out of that hesitation for a headway before we can drive and enjoy the profits to the downside. If this happens, then I will be willing to trade. Okay, All right, so that's basically it. Nothing much. Other pairs are heavy congestion, sideways price behavior. You cannot really trade them. Okay, heavy congestion. You just need to be patient. Hopefully, we will get price begin to move again as usual. Thanks for being here. Thanks for sticking around. We hope that if things don't go well by the end of this year, next year will be a better one. We'll talk again, hopefully, if things improve in the market. If you have questions or contributions, feel free, send them across to us, and we'll be very happy to respond to them as usual. Do have a nice time. Bye bye.